Clouds are going to start rolling in. Rain should hold off during the daylight hours, and it's breezy and cooler with a high of 68. Remember to get your weather updates around the clock from Atlanta's local news team, Fox 5 News and News Radio 106.7.
It's 55 degrees in Atlanta right now from News Radio 106.7. We've been following the Bruce Jenner story. Very interesting. As a dad, I kind of felt for him because he really got emotional when he talked about his kids, having to explain this to his children. Be very tough. 17 million people watched him talk about this also.
I thought, it's like over. And I was in this, walking up and down this hall right here, back and forth all night long. Hearts pounding. And I thought, wouldn't the easiest thing to be right now? And I could see where people get to that. Just go in the room, got a gun, boom, pain's over, it's done, go to a better place.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I thought about suicide there for a while. Well, joining us is GAbrielle Claiborne. She's a board member for the Atlanta Pride Committee and City of Light. GAbrielle began her gender transition in April of 2010. Thank you for joining us, GAbrielle. What was your reaction to Bruce's revelations on Friday night?
Steve, thank you for having me on. I really thought she did a wonderful job in articulating a very difficult topic that a lot of us experience all through our life. And I think she did a really good job of trying to articulate the best that she could with where she was in her journey at that point in time.
It's interesting you're calling Bruce she. I realize why. But, even he wasn't referring to himself in that manner as of yet. And I understand why also there. But he did say that he felt like he was living a lie, that Bruce was a lie, and that he had the soul of a woman all of his life.
Yes, and, I want to respect her in that she made it very clear that this was the turning point in her journey, that the male persona was moving on. So I want to be respectful of her in that. And yeah, I mean, it's a struggle that a lot of us go through about embracing who we are inside and owning that truth. And, that involves a lot of things that may seem a little different and awkward to society, but for us to navigate through all that we have to navigate is a difficult, challenging, but yet once we get to the place where we're willing to embrace and accept that for ourselves, a very rewarding place to be.
Now, GAbrielle, I thought it was interesting that Bruce Jenner said, he didn't like that description of a woman trapped in a man's body. Said he rejected that because he just felt like he is who he is. How do you feel about that?
I agree completely with what she said about that, because a lot of when a lot of people look at that from that perspective, it comes from a victim place. And I, for one, do not see myself as a victim. I see myself as an individual who flourishes as I walk in my truth. And I think that, Bruce, I sense that she had that same perspective of her journey. None of us want to feel like we are second-class citizens or struggling through our life. We want to feel fulfilled and feel like we're flourishing in our life. And I think when you share that, when you have that perspective of not being a victim, then it allows us to live our life and flourish.
Hey, GAbrielle, do you think it's going too far to make a celebrity out of this when for most it's a personal kind of silent struggle, for most with no paparazzi, no cameras, no money, to make this into a reality show? How do you feel about that?
I'm all about education society, okay? And if it is handled in a proper way, then and what I got from her in her explanation about, and this is one thing that really came out to me, is she really wanted to make a difference. She is in a place to make a significant difference. She's already made a huge difference. I mean, 17 million viewers of one interview. That's amazing. So if it's handled properly, I think it would be a great educational tool for our community and society as a whole.
Real quick, let me ask you one last question here, because we're